The G20, an international forum made up of the world's major economies, is instrumental in forming global economic policies and promoting international cooperation. G20 has traditionally only included member nations, but in recent years, there has been growing discussion about extending its reach to include non-member entities with significant global influence. The African Union's participation in the G20 summit being hosted by India is one such idea that is gaining traction. This action has the potential to improve global governance by fostering inclusivity and addressing the particular problems that the African continent faces. The African Union, established in 2001, represents a collective voice for 55 African countries, with a mission to promote peace, stability, and economic development across the continent. The AU has steadily gained recognition as a significant player on the global stage, addressing issues like climate change, regional security, and economic development. Its inclusion in the G20 would be a testament to the importance of African nations in shaping the world's economic and political landscape. One of the key benefits of including the African Union in the G20 is the potential for increased economic opportunities for African nations. The G20 is a platform where major economic decisions are made, and access to this forum could help African countries attract foreign investments, foster economic growth, and reduce poverty levels. Additionally, collaboration with G20 countries could lead to more favorable trade agreements and access to new markets, providing a much-needed boost to African economies. The African continent faces a range of unique challenges, including poverty, conflict, and climate change. The inclusion of the African Union in the G20 would allow for a more comprehensive approach to addressing these issues. African leaders would have a direct seat at the table when discussing global solutions, enabling them to advocate for policies and initiatives that prioritize the continent's needs. This would not only benefit Africa but also contribute to global stability and development. Inclusion is a fundamental principle in the 21st century, and the G20 must reflect this in its composition. Expanding the G20 to include the African Union would send a powerful message about the importance of global inclusivity and representation. It would demonstrate a commitment to hearing the voices of all nations, regardless of their economic size or geopolitical influence. This move would set a precedent for greater diversity and representation in international forums, fostering a more equitable and just world order. For India, hosting a G20 summit that includes the African Union would be an excellent opportunity to strengthen its diplomatic and economic ties with African nations. India has historically had strong relations with many African countries, and this move could further enhance cooperation in areas such as trade, technology transfer, and development assistance. While the idea of including the African Union at the G20 is promising, it does come with its share of challenges. G20 may need to adapt its decision-making processes and structures to accommodate a larger group of participants. Additionally, there may be concerns about the efficiency and effectiveness of a larger G20. However, these challenges should not deter the international community from exploring this opportunity, as the potential benefits far outweigh the drawbacks. The inclusion of the African Union at the G20 summit hosted by India represents a significant step toward a more inclusive and equitable global governance system. It offers economic opportunities for African nations, a platform to address pressing global challenges, and a chance to promote unity and representation on the world stage. As the world continues to grapple with complex issues that transcend borders, a more inclusive G20 is not just a matter of convenience, it is a necessity. India's initiative to welcome the African Union at the G20 summit should be applauded as a bold and forward-thinking move toward a brighter and more interconnected future for all nations.